Hey guys, it's ICU. Welcome back to another Ghillie video. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to win almost every single game while using a Ghillie suit. This strategy is actually so overpowered. You guys absolutely destroyed the light goal on last video, so thank you guys so much for that. That made my entire week, to be honest. So yeah, we're going to land down here in downtown. This little building area used to be super good back in OG Verdansk, and it still is. This was by far the most fun game of Warzone I've played so far, so make sure you stick around for the end, because the win, literally, dude, it feels like it was ripped straight from COD 4, like the exact same all Ghillied up mission. It was super sick. We were like crawling through bushes and stuff. Anyways, here's the HDR loadout if you guys need it. For some reason, when I inspected the AMAX here, it didn't show me the attachments, so I'm going to show you guys that after. So yeah, we start out by taking out a few duos here in downtown. There were just some stragglers moving in toward buy station, so we ended up having a duo push us from behind. Jake has already downed a guy right there. So yeah, I end up just shooting this guy, getting the kill. And then there's another guy behind this dumpster that I end up killing. Watch how this AMAX literally destroys this dude, bro. I'll give you guys the loadout in a bit. I do know that when I inspect it, it ends up working after a while. So Jake kills the dude right here while I get in this Bertha. And there's also a dude on top of fire station that I laser. He was trying to snipe me out of the truck for some reason. It's kind of stupid, but anyways, we end up moving to this recon, and right after we get this recon, I will show you guys exactly what we do to position ourselves to basically carry us to the win. Also, the fact that we have basically overpowered Ghillie suits completely carried us to the victory in this game. So this is going to be a very good demonstration on how to basically use positioning to win every single game. Because trust me, dude, this new update and how it actually used to be back in 2020 is all about positioning. There is nothing more important. High kills and all of that is pretty fun, but positioning, dude, will get you the win every single time. So the zone ended up pulling like halfway in the outer barrier and halfway in the map. So half of the map was cut off from the out of bounds area. So what we do is we basically move on that red barrier the entire game. As you can see there, it's like halfway cut off. So first we get this second loadout over here. As you guys can see, I get my second HDR class. I do think the one I'm carrying right now is better, but this one just has the base scope, which I love so much. But yeah, that outer barrier, I see that a lot of end zones tend to end there. All right, here's the attachments for that anyways. I see a lot of end zones that end at that outer barrier. So if you guys can just ride the outer barrier as much as you possibly can. Here's a duo right here I end up sniping at. I didn't get any kills, but decided to take a shot anyways. So yeah, as you guys can see, we're moving up to the very edge of the map. Here's the AMAX class here. Absolutely broken. Make sure you guys use this. It's insane. So yeah, we sit on the outside of the map up here, and every single time the zone shrinks, we just move across the line. And it basically carried us down to the top 5, and then from there it was a clean sweep. We just killed everybody in the zone. So we end up just sitting here for a few minutes, and as you guys can see, the zone shrank again. It's actually still on the edge of the map, which is crazy. We heartbeated somebody right in front of us. I know there was a duo fighting right near us, so we decided to wait it out to see if they would peek. And I have full trust in my Ghillie suits, by the way. There's a certain, like, the more that you play with Ghillie suits, the more you end up just trusting your Ghillie, which is actually a real sniper tactic, which is crazy, but it almost makes you completely calm in a way. Like, I know nobody's going to see me, so I'm just super calm. So yeah, this duo ends up peeking up here, and I will let you guys enjoy this stealthy assassination. Absolutely washed them, bro. They had no idea what hit them. So yes, the zone ends up pulling again on the edge of the map, as you guys can see. So we ended up just moving immediately. We didn't want to waste any time here, which is honestly one of the best things to do if you know that nobody else is around you. But I did not know anybody was around me, which is kind of stupid of me. So I ended up using my heartbeat again. This is the part I was talking about earlier. Look at this, dude. There's foliage absolutely everywhere. We are just crawling through the grass here. Literally ripped straight from campaign, bro. So yeah, I was super lucky to find that loot right there. I ended up getting a beautiful gas mask and a precision airstrike and another heartbeat sensor, which had more charge. But I have no idea where anybody is here. I know that there's a squad right there as I aim in right there. There ended up being a few teams on my left. I think they ended up fighting it out. And we decided to move farther into zone here. As you guys can see, there is so much foliage. So I ended up just sprinting because I knew that nobody was going to see me here. We were on like this kind of ridge spot. It was actually pretty good positioning. This is a lucky spot right here, I'm not going to lie. But as you guys can see, we are just stealthing our way through these zones. And it's carrying us so far. And the zone ends up pulling closer again here. That's honestly a lucky pull. I mean, like, you could end up making your way around regardless, but this was a super lucky pull for us. As you guys can see, there's a team up there. And I didn't know this until later, but there's a team on our left. I'm actually glad that they didn't move up behind us because I'm in, like, no bushes at all right here. I'm just laying down. What I mainly do in these positions right here is I mainly watch for fighting and the zone. Those are the two things that I watch out for because I know that if, of course, we're in the top 4 right here, but if we're in the top 3, okay, now we're in the top 3. That team down to my left just killed somebody, but as soon as these people start fighting, which is another plus about Ghillie, usually if you're pretty hidden in top 3 situations, the other team will end up just fighting and you can third party. So yeah, I use my heartbeat sensor to get a gauge on where the enemy is. So I know there's a team up to my right and I know there's a team down to my left. So I'm just going to sit here for a second until they fight, which is honestly, if you want a win, dude, this is definitely the best thing to do unless you're just a god at the game. So they ended up fighting. So I just finished that down guy right there, and I know there's a team still down to my left here. He ended up hiding behind that tree, and then I just laser him right here. Absolutely annihilated. Jake ended up getting freaking sniped right here, so I just laser the last guy, and voila, there you go. Literally, if you do this every single game, just play for positioning, play for perfect zone, your chances of winning have gone up like 50%. I'm not even joking, dude. It is absolutely overpowered. Plus the ghillie suits, like add on top of the ghillie suits, dude, it makes you hidden, it makes you concealed. You can get a gauge on where a lot of people are if you scout out. It's honestly one of the coolest freaking strategies ever, and I am so glad I can do it on this map, dude. Of course, not every win is a guarantee, but with how this game is now, it's not based toward casuals, but it's definitely benefited toward casuals. Like, you're not going to get slammed if you're a casual. So if you are not so good at the game, or if you just want to have a very immersive experience like myself, I love how immersive this is, then just go ahead and use a ghillie suit, dude. Run on edge of map, do whatever position. I swear it is so much fun, especially with friends, and your win rate will go up much more if you play like this. You can also do this without a ghillie suit. I'm not saying that it's like strictly for ghillie suiting, but positioning plus a ghillie suit, dude, is a beautiful combination. And so if you guys like this type of content, you want to see more ghillie suit videos, go ahead and leave a like. I will be uploading every week at this point because of how fun this game is. So yeah, if you guys want to see more, if you want to see commentary gameplays or streams or whatever, I will be right here uploading. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you again for the likes on the last video. That was incredible. I love you guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.